Greetings viewers, this is Morstorm coming at you with another video. Today we are going to go over each of the individual parts that make up the 1/9 scale Iron Spider by Morstorm. I just want to give a in-depth examination of each part because this actually has some pretty interesting features that comes with this kit. So without further ado, let's get started. So I want to get started with the chest piece of the Iron Spider, and I will say that it was actually kind of interesting the way how this turned out. As you can see here up front, that you can see the spider symbol and the back symbol as well. It's a little bit interesting. It's not really like a solid piece. They're just like two individual pieces on each side that kind of looks like a vest, if you will. So the fact that that mix up, you can say the spider legs on both the front and back is a little bit interesting, but also kind of like blocky in some ways. I want to see how this is going to turn out once it's all assembled, because I really want to see how this is going to maneuver. And as you can see here, it does maneuver a little bit up front. So it does expand the back a little bit, but that's about it on that articulation. So these vest movements, so to speak. But aside from that, there's actually two different waist, I would say, or midsection positions, or articulation joints, I would say. So just this moves a little bit, so not too much. But also this little one here that can just crunch up like that, maybe for like a crunch or sit up position. And that's about it. Yeah, there's not too many here, and the neck, not much to show with this one. It does go all around, and of course it does pop up like that. But naturally it's going to look a little bit better once the head is attached. But aside from that though, I do like the color scheme. I was hesitant whether or not I should paint the gold pieces that comes with this kit, but I decided to just hang on with it. I'm kind of glad I did. It does really match well with the metallic red that comes with this kit. And this, it's not, I wouldn't say it's jet black. I would say there is some very light shade of blue there. So I would say a very, very dark navy blue or some sort of shade of black there as well. But that's about it for the chest. Next up is the waist, and not really much to say on this one. I decided to keep it separated, but it's very simple. Majority of the color is that very dark blue, blackish color that I mentioned earlier. Some points of the metallic red, both front and back. But also it has some nice designs too, the way how this is featured. There's actually three pieces here, one here, one there, and this gray piece in the middle. So that's the one thing about these kits I've been noticing, this one and the Iron Man Mark 46, is that they are mainly different pieces to give the kit a certain design, whether it be on the legs, chest, arms, so on and so forth. So that's kind of interesting that there's a few pieces just to make this little design here in the back. But in terms of articulation, there's not much to show, just these two joints here. They just go up and down, but of course there's going to be a little bit more as soon as the legs are attached. And speaking of legs, so this one is a little bit interesting when I was putting this together. So inside this leg, you could say the skeletal system, is actually those metal pieces that I showed whenever I was unboxing this. This is in the previous video, so be sure to take a look at that. But yes, there are two metal rods, or actually four technically metal rods, and two of each were going to be used for the legs. So it's a little bit interesting. You can actually see a little bit of the metal piece right there in the back joint of the leg. So I find it kind of interesting as to why it's only in the legs, but for those who are familiar with Gunpla kits or Gundam kits, And I can definitely say for certain that the legs tend to take, or the legs are one of the pieces that tend to take the longest to put together. And I always find it interesting that it's a lot of pieces to make the leg. So perhaps this is the same aspect as that. But if you look kind of closely, you can see the ankle of the foot here is just a little bit to the, um, I guess if you look at this, the right. But it's a little bit interesting. I kind of wish it was positioned a little bit different, but I'm not so sure if that's the reason because of the way how this is going to be positioned or articulated whenever I were to post this figure. But I'm not really sure on that. But aside from that, though, this kit does have some nice articulation points. So the top part, this does move up and down like so. And of course, there's going to be some movement in the hip joint once this is connected. There's a nice bend here at the knee. So not too bad there. And the ankle does go all around, slightly up, but nice side-to-side swivel. And there's actually a toe joint. And it's really tight. So I'm kind of surprised by that. So in case you have this kid, I would say be careful because I feel like this toe joint is really stiff. But aside from that, though, just like as I stated before, the color scheme is pretty nice. The gray, the gold, the metallic red, it does work pretty well with and complement each other pretty well. Next up are the arms, and I would say that the arms did give me kind of a headache. As you can see here, this gold piece that's on the upper arm and the bicep, tricep area. Um, it was kind of it's hard for me to explain, but the way how this is attached is just this gold part and this red part right here in the inner arm. Um, it's just those two pieces, and you need to attach them before you attach that to the joint here that attaches this part of the upper arm. And it was really hard to get in the proper position so all these can attach pretty well and make sure these are flushed. But these gold pieces tend to stick out a little bit. Not just this on the other arm too, so that was a little bit of a headache. That took a little bit longer than it should. But aside from that, though, the color scheme again works well. I decided to do some paint lining on I would say, the gauntlet and the upper arm as well, and a little bit in this shoulder piece. So there's some black paint lining there as well. But some nice articulation here. A little bit of a elbow joint. I wouldn't say it's all the way. I would say the bicep is a little bit too big for that proper joint. But this is what it is. And this does go back and forth. And of course, that piece, and that's one thing about the arms that's a little bit of a pain, is that this shoulder piece comes off very easily. I just like how the Iron Man kit, the Mark 46, the shoulder pieces tend to come off easily, so that might be a common theme with these kits. So that is one unfortunate part. But it does look pretty nice. Like aesthetic look, it is pretty nice. And aside from that, another thing about this kit particularly, just like in the Iron Man kit, there's a lot of different hands. So you can see here there's a closed fist. You got just a semi-open hand. I say semi because this one is a little bit more open. And this one is a little bit interesting. I wouldn't say this is more like a thumbs up or just a different way to shoot the web. But then again, if that was the reason for it, then this is the proper way how Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, shoots his web. You know, 2 fingers in the middle. There you go. Now this kit also does come with some effect parts. And the reason why I'm showing it on this part is because, well, for starters, we have this long piece, very clear white web piece with a little knob at the end. So you could say it's like a web bullet, so to speak. And also it has 2 different spider webs. This one I would say is more like a grasp, whereas this one is more like a net. But each one of these has a little endpoint right here that attaches to the inside of this gauntlet. It's going to be hard to see, but if you see that little hole there, that's where this end is going to attach to. So it's going to be just, well, let me just do this. Take out the fist. And there you go. So yes, there are many different ways to position, modify this, and let's make this authentic. So you have that piece. And this goes right in. So yeah, I think that will work. Yep, that works pretty well. But yeah, that's about it for the arms and the effect parts. Next up is the head, and the head is actually pretty interesting. For starters, this kit actually comes with 2 heads, and I'll explain why in a few seconds. So this one is just a regular, nice Spider-Man head. I really like the way how the web is all over the head on the cranium of this figure. But actually comes these 2 heads actually come with different eye sockets. But before I show that, there's one feature that this kit has that's just like the Iron Man Mark 6, but it's a little bit different. So this kit comes with a magnet, and all you need to do is just tap on the head, and there you go. And like this kit, this head lights up, and just tap it again. Let me see, and there you go. The lights shut off. But aside from that, this head, the eyes actually come off. So if you have a long enough nail, and this one, the eyes are pretty snug. Now, there we go. I will remove just one just because it was a bit of a headache, but just want to set that there. So you can see the connecting pieces here. There's roughly 3, so gives you a good idea. And aside from the white lenses, sort of eyes, this kit also comes with a clear red translucent lens. So you can just push that there, and looks pretty nice. So yep, they definitely work both ways. I personally I think the white one looks a little bit better. I think the red one would be better if the red was a little bit darker instead of clear, but that's just me. But that's it for this head. And as for the other one, it has the same concept, but as you can see here, this one has the squinted look. Now, for those who've seen Spider-Man in Civil War or in the other Spider-Man movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way From Home, that costume has like that squinting feature. But this one, though, it has those red squinting eyes, But this head doesn't have a light. Instead, though, you can just remove these eyes, and at the back of it is actually a magnet. And this comes with two set of eyes. Comes with that one, and also just a white eye. And in case you see that residue, that's actually from glue. This kit comes with their own glue stick too, but I think the glue stick may have been just a little bit old because it wasn't like Creo liquid. It was a very tacky, very like gel-like, but not in the good kind of gel. It's more like very tacky. So I don't think the glue was very good. But other than that, though, it was kind of nice that they try to ship, present super glue so you don't need to buy it. But I suggest you buy super glue for this kit just in case. So you just need to glue the magnets. There are two actually inside the head, and you just need to glue some extra magnets inside each one of the eyes. And this kit comes with 7 magnets. All you really need is 6, so you should have plenty. But that's about it for the 2 heads. Next up are the Spider-Man talons, and before I continue, just gonna add this right now, this little disclaimer. This by far was the hardest thing to put together. It looked simple enough. However, the pieces right here, where I'm pointing, on each end, on all these talons, for some reason it was so hard to push them through these openings in these connection pieces to the point that I almost gave my fingers a blister or two just because it was so hard. I had to press them hard on this desk with some other pieces, nothing that were ruining the plastic, but just enough so it can apply pressure so it can at least attach and these can probably be connected. But that by far took the longest of any other pieces of this kit. And it was just a headache. Definitely one of my least favorite things about putting this kit together. But I can't deny that it does look pretty good. Like I said before, I was thinking about painting the gold pieces, but I'm glad I didn't. Actually, it looks pretty nice. It does have a little shine to it. I wouldn't say it's not. I wouldn't say it's gloss or even semi-gloss. I'll say maybe it's a shade below that. Not even matte color, but it does look pretty nice. And I also decided to do some paint lining here as well, in each one of these inner works of each talon. So it does look pretty nice all around, and also was easy cleanup too. There's another thing too. Like I said, I'm happy I did not color this, because if I were to color this, sometimes, and I've done this with other kits, if I paint a line after I paint a piece, it doesn't always work well. Not always. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm kind of glad I did not do that for this one. But aside from that, though, each one of these have the same amount of articulation. But I always feel like these joints are pretty stiff. So you have that joint, you have this one, that one, and of course the end. Alright, so I'm kind of glad these aren't too stiff. I was kind of worried because I tested this out after I was done building it, and I was just a little bit concerned. So not only that, but it actually has pretty nice balance all around. It can stand it's technically standing on 3 legs, but it can stand on all 4. But I do want to see how this is going to be attached to the back. And I want to show this too. I'm going to show it again in the next video, but in order to attach this, there's actually a little piece on the back of the Spider-Man body. And unfortunately, it's pretty hard to get this piece out. So either you have a utility knife or a X-Acto knife. Be careful with this, it's pretty sharp. There's a little slit there, so you can just put it there, hold the piece in, just get a grip and pop it right off. And so these two holes there will line up with these two holes here, and you just place it in so. And it's pretty strong, they can hold the body up. But I will test this again in the assembly final version video to see how it really holds up. But that's about it for the Iron Spider talons. And last but certainly not least, this kit also comes with a action base, just like how the Iron Man Mark 46 came with a action base as well. The only difference, of course, this one says Iron Spider, like so. But same amount of articulation. This piece just moves around. That piece just came off. It's just these end caps here. So if you want, you can just remove this. Like so. Just take some time. There you go. You can either put in this one, that one, or underneath that cap. So you have some options. But yeah, this is just as strong. So I'm not concerned about that. And of course, this one, just remove this piece for lock. And you can move this how you wish once you place the body in there. But if you see my parts video for the Iron Man 46, you've seen that I was talking about this action base as well. So, same articulation, same base. Thank you all for watching. Definitely a good amount of features here from the Inspired Talents, another action base, and even some effect parts. Not as much as the Iron Man 46, but definitely, I would say, a good amount for the Iron Spider, aka Spider-Man. So I'd say it definitely works well. But definitely looking forward to see how this kit is going to look all put together. I'm expecting good things, but of course I will share my thoughts about the good, bad, and everything else in between in the next video, where I will assemble it and of course share my final verdict. So until then, there are two videos here for you to watch. There is an unboxing video for this kit, so be sure to check that out. And there's a video here that YouTube picked out. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for any more video updates. If you want to follow me on other social media platforms, I do have an Instagram and I do have a Reddit account to have any discussions about whether it be this kit or any other discussions involving Marvel, anime, or even just Gunpla or Zors for that matter. So with that all being said, again, thank you again, and until next time, keep on building.